Okay. Okay, for the few around, hello, I'm back. Um, this is the second part of what was supposed to be done much sooner yesterday. We had a 4 hour stream yesterday, and I was expecting it to be. I'm gonna say I was expecting 2 or 3 runs up to like maybe the second biome. Instead, we scraped our way all the way through to the fourth biome, and things aren't looking great. So on the pro side, we played 4 hours and got such an amazing run and so many close calls. On the not so good side, we have two injured protagonists. On the good side, though, they are all three our starting protagonists, so we haven't lost anyone along the way yet. Uh, I have about an hour today. If this goes into part three, I'm gonna like, laugh my ass off. But like, I'm gonna probably play a little bit looser today because Nick may or may not join in. Zach may or may not join in. I decided last night that we had to get this out of the way because, as some of you may have listened yesterday know, or watching this on the VOD, I'm going to be a dad soon if all goes well. Our due date soon. I'd like to get this at least this part out of the way before I have to run to the labor room. So, with that said, let's get this going. So, last we looked, right? This is so you can see here. It's kind of cool in the menu screen. It still shows you like what's going on. I have turned off. Hey, Rapatica and Nix. See people from yesterday. So I've turned off names and speech because what happened yesterday after a while is like the characters continuously got renamed and it was kind of hilarious, but also I kind of want to see Houdini again. Like it's like the dog went away and got replaced by an alternate universe dog, and now we go back to the first timeline, it's Houdini or something like that. Um, yeah, Rapaticus is a broken immersion a bit. Ix, so many excellent visual touches. Yeah, so yeah, it did break immersion a little bit. It was funny. Like I thought it was really, really hilarious. Oh, Rapatica, you're still around. Like that's the thing. No one died. I'm gonna hit continue right now because we're just gonna dive right back into it. So here's the thing. As you can see on the bottom, this might go very fast, right? So first of all, our car it has a damage, even though it has protection. That's exactly why I'm saying Rapatica. It's not you anymore. It's still the character that had your name, but when you got out, someone else took over that name, and then it got really weird. So we couldn't really keep track of who was who. Aside the fact that we had the same three characters the whole time, they just constantly got renamed, and I don't know exactly how the algorithm renames stuff based on people in the chat. No idea. Do not know how that works. So the thing here now is we can't actually go anywhere, right? So we can't. This might be over really soon. Two people are injured. Houdini is injured. I don't remember which of our other protagonists is injured. We're really close to getting out of the fourth biome, but I don't. I kept on saying this yesterday, right? I kept on saying we're never going to make it, and then we just kept on making it. So we have no choice here because we are out of gas. We do not even have enough gas to get to the barrier here. So what's going to happen is it's going to send us into a level, unfortunately, that is probably riddled with enemies, and it's night, and our only goal is to find gas. So I don't know what happens here if I just turn on the car and try to get out of here, because I feel like finding gas at night is a bad idea, and I don't know how much gas this is going to use. So I'm going to just like straight get the hell out of here. Escape, yeah. Because let's not even pretend. Yeah. Items. Let's go over the items. We kept on losing items. Okay, it's a bad place. We don't have a cast. So I guess there's no. So what I'm taking from this right now is that there's no hit for like just getting out of there, right? We'll just head out to the next thing and then we'll look at the items. We had a bunch of shields. We had a bunch of lead pipes, but for some reason in the heat of the moment we dropped them and didn't take them back. Okay, so this looks better. So okay, let's see what we got. So Kimlin which is I'm assuming still a character. It's a person from the chat, even though I turned that off. But maybe they get the name from yesterday. Has a knife and a shield. That's pretty cool. Like a knife is a decent weapon. It doesn't. It's not. It breaks after a couple of uses, but it's better than a stick. The shield just absorbs 2 damage. Yeah, thank God. Thank God, Rapatica. Some fuel on the road. This is God sent, or it's a trap. Who knows? This has been going relatively good as of late. So we're probably going to just drive there and try to get the gas in the car so we can get to the barrier and then die a miserable death there. SD89 has a bottle. It's a brown bottle, so I think it's filled with gas. But you can see the SD89 is cowering down. So SD89, you also see over here, SD89 has 1 damage. So that means that SD89 only has 1 action point per turn. Thanks to the, yep, that's you, SD89. But we can do this. And Fritzy TG, our dog, is also head hanging down and is carrying a stick. So we don't have the best of items. We don't have all our lead pipes anymore. But, yeah, I'm going to say what the first thing we're going to do is turn on the car. Probably drive here because that's still a safe spot in terms of that triple brute not getting us. Right, so let's drive here. Turn off the car. And then I think Kimlin... Oh, so oh, no. I used up all of Kimlin's action points. Well, let's move Kimlin here. Let's get everyone out of the car just so that no one's in the car. Because I don't know if you recall, if we're in the car while someone could attack the car will take damage. And right now, another thing we found out yesterday is these shields on the sides of the car, which I guess if I go into photo mode, I can zoom in a bit. They only protect the car from the side, not from the front and from the rear, which, you know, makes a lot of sense diegetically, but I was just like, when it happened, I wasn't really prepared for it. Because, you know, it's a video game. You keep on thinking that if you see a shield, it's a shield, but they're, you know, it's to the point here, so, you know, good on them for designing it that way. So I'm going to move SD89 here. Have SD89 pick up, oh my god, 1 out of 5. That's not a lot. So Fritzy G, just going to get out of the car. Can't do a whole lot. Because, man, we really need a health pack. And the other thing is I really doubt that we're going to get a health pack by the barrier. So that's another reason why I doubt that that's going to go well. But I did not have the energy. Ooh. Well, the good news here is that I can actually send Kimlin to get it and then move away so that this thing won't threaten it. I could also use 1 action to shove this character. But I actually want this thing to walk away. So I'm going to take Kimlin and walk onto the gas. Pick it up. Also only a 1 out of 5. Awesome. Actually, you know what? I kind of... Well, yeah, no, that's probably better. And then I'm going to move Kimlin here in the hopes that it, like, lures Triple Brute away. At the same time, like, I have to do something about the dog. But first, I can... Okay, so I have to move SC89 here. Can't fill in this turn. Dog moves here. So this is... To me, this feels like a lot like chess with really limited resources, right? We have... This is not going amazingly well, right? So let's see what happens. So that's the end of that turn. Okay, that was to be expected. Nothing too terrible just yet. Although, the problem now is... There's a problem. I can't move Kimlin here. Well, maybe I can. Kimlin can still take a hit. So this tri-prong, or whatever we call it, can move here and attack Kimlin, but it will destroy Kimlin's shield. But I think we have to do that, otherwise we're not going to get gas in this car. Right, so SC89 fills it up. So at least we go to 3. I think Fritzy just gets in the car, right? Because I don't think the car is going to get attacked. So let's just get in. And now I can actually decide whether I want to go here or here. Here's maybe better because this brute might actually block this person. I don't know. This is a thing that's not quite the same as in Into the Breach, because Into the Breach tells you the turn order of the enemies. Here, it's not really clear to me how these are going to walk and how they're going to block each other. So I'd say, well, I could also go here. There, I'm guaranteed to not get hit. Yeah, that's way better. Yeah, let's go here. And I'm going to have to fill it in next turn anyway. So let's see what happens. Okay. There's a spooky sound going on right now. Okay, this all still... Again, we're always in dire straits, but it seems to be not terrible. So we can fill it in. Oh, wait. If I do that, then I can't drive the car anymore, right? Because unfortunately, SC89 is going to use up their action point to get in. If I move Kimlin in here, the car will explode. Because it's... Well, Rapatica says looks terrifying, but not that bad. It's kind of bad because I'm not going to be able to load the gas. It's only one, but I'm not going to be able to load the gas in here because if I do, that will take an action point. Going in will take an action point. I don't think that Fritzy G can pull in Kimlin. Nah. I can't, right? Fritzy is not smart enough to pull. That's unfortunate. I think that dog's super smart. Right? No one can get her in, and there are two people in the car, and there are enough people around the car to wreck the car. And if we lose the car, that's definitely the end of the game. Right? So I think what we do is we just say, oh well. And here's what happens. I think this happened in the last couple of levels too. Like, the knife is over here. We drop the knife so we get the gas. Now we're not going to get the gas, and we're not going to get the knife. Right? Yeah, Rapatica, we still have 3 fuel. So that's better than 2 fuel, but we traded it for a knife for what I would consider terrible reasons that are, you know, me playing the game maybe a little bit loosey-goosey. And the other bad thing is, I think if I get in here now... Oh, that was cool. So what happened just now automatically is that Kinlan stored the gas on here. That's cool. Ixnot says, Will Smith texted me to tell you to sacrifice for Patica. Wow. A, I don't think that's true. B, it's pretty funny. Ix, your wishes, all your wishes will come true very soon, right? Because we're going to get out of here. We at least put the gas on the car, so we'll be able to fill it up, so we will get to 4 gas eventually. Okay, so that wasn't that bad after all. Also really cool of the game to like not just abandon the canister, right? Because normally the canister would normally just be abandoned. Yeah, so now we get the chat. I know this tank's almost on empty. Oh, really? Me too. What's next? Okay, cool. So this is interesting. So it says 2 gas to get to the blockade. I keep on calling it barrier. But that's weird, right? Because why in heaven's name would... Wait, let me check something here. Why in heaven's name would we need 3 to get there if it wants to? I guess they didn't want us to run out of gas while we're there, right? So we still had to get away. So I guess they always have to have whatever it needs plus 1. So again, we don't really have a choice here, right? So I guess we just have to go in there and see what's gonna happen. Oh, man. Okay. Rapatica voted 1. Yeah, it's not to vote if we don't have a choice. Okay, so how's it looking? So, okay. Not great, not great, not super terrible. The thing that I think Nick pointed out yesterday is we really don't know at all what this stuff is, right? There's a creature around. It's not this, right? This creature here, I'm going to start zooming in on stuff. So this creature here just screams and calls stuff, right? It just, that's it. But there was also a red creature around that started like spreading this fungus or whatever it is. And we're not really sure if it heats, if it hurts us. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to stop in it as a player, right? My wife and I are playing Pandemic Legacy in parallel to me playing this, and it's like, don't end your turn in Fated City, otherwise you take a damage. I'm going to say that that's what's going to happen here, and also that Adam's probably played Pandemic Legacy. But we can ask him that on Thursday. Patica says, so is that exclusive to the SUV to put fuel on the car? Not necessarily. So each vehicle, for example, this one, like let's click on the vehicle and inspect it. This one has 2 inventory slots. So interesting. And we actually also have another slot for a person. So that's the SUV. The normal car has 3 people slots and 1 inventory slot. And the car we had before this was a normal car and had a rooftop rack. So it was 3 people, 3 items. This seems really cool though. 4 characters, 2 items. But again, it's damaged. Repaka says on the off-road bonus. Yeah, I haven't seen the SUV, only car, van, and pickup. Yeah. So I think there's also a truck, but we haven't seen it yet. And we never got the van because, well, it was a decision. We thought it was busted. So again, here's the good news. This Screamer character doesn't attack. These 2, on the other hand, will attack eventually. So what we probably want to do, and we for sure we can't go through this rock. So I think what we want to do is, this thing also didn't attack the car. I don't know if it attacks humans, but let's for a moment assume that it doesn't. And if it doesn't, then we have to remove 2 barriers. We have to remove 2 barriers. We can break them, or we can move them, but for the most part, we're trying to... Well, move them is a 1 action, breaking them is 2. None of them are already pre-busted. Well, that's not true. This one here is pre-busted. But we have to get rid at least of one of these, and maybe this one, but getting to that one's going to be really hard. So I'm going to just say we drive... Oh. What? Wait a minute. Since when can I... Oh, that's what you mean, Rapatica. I didn't know this. That's amazing. So, yes, you're right. There's an off-road bonus. I can actually steer off the road, well, at least 1 lane. I don't think I can get rid of this car, and that means I'm going to have to drive maybe here and then move into there, but that means I have to push this away. So maybe we drive here and then hope that one of our characters can push this away and that this doesn't damage them. If this damages them, that's just whatever. Then we're once again we're probably not going to survive this land, but I've said that multiple times. So let's drive here. Which, that doesn't hurt because now that thing's not going to call in help. Now Kimlin can't do anything anymore, and this character is going to be annoying, so let's turn off the car. So this dude over here is going to walk 2 steps towards us, right? So if we go out, we're going to get damaged by it. Anywhere we go. 1, and it's just going to hit us. So there's no real point in getting out of the car right now, other than Kimlin going here. But the thing is, I'd like Kimlin to push this out so that Kimlin doesn't end their turn in the poison. So, and again, I can't move anyone out of here without getting killed by this, right? If I move the dog or the other character out. So we have to unfortunately just end our turn. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do, so let's undo that. So here's the next unfortunate thing, right? This brute needs to be out of the way there, but we still have a couple of minutes left before we can see what happens there. Oh boy. So none of our characters, well, actually that's not true. Here's what we can do. Fritzy is going to have another moment of glory by going here. Nope, that's also not going to happen because Fritzy can't go out and also attack. But if Fritzy stays in the car will be destroyed. So what's going to happen now is one of our characters is going to have to take one for the team. Wait, is that true? Is that true? Let's start with Kimlin. Kimlin has to go out and then push this, right? Because I don't want Kimlin to end on that spot. Now, Esty could get out. Oh! Esty could get out here. And then Fritzy could get out here. And that way the car doesn't get destroyed and no one gets hit. Okay, so let's do that. And Fritzy goes here. Now, the only bad thing that might happen is that, and we will now learn a new thing about the game. is whether being in the fungus does anything. It turns out. So as always, there are good and bad news. The good news is that the fungus kills everything. So this character here also got destroyed by the fungus. But unfortunately, our character got dead too. Now, I can't revive her either. Because if I move in there to revive, that's 2 actions. And then I'm basically just trading... I'm just trading Kimlin dying, right? So, unlike what you might think, you can revive a character. It's just that... Wait, what's this? Clear, move, revive. Clear. Clear. So there's a new action that I didn't know existed. It turns out you can clear something of the fungus. So I could clear it of the fungus and then revive her next turn. We are so blocked in by everything that we don't have to worry about any of this stuff over here hurting us. This guy broke the barrier, right? So weirdly enough, these people are also attacking each other. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to revive her, but first I'm going to clear the fungus so that when I revive her, she still has a hit point. What does Fritzy do? Fritzy can't... Sorry, is it Fritzy? It's Fritzy. Fritzy can't do anything right now, I think. Right? Other than make sure that this character here doesn't kill him. So he might just stay put. I don't see a whole lot of other good uses. Because I'm curious enough now to see what happens when I do clear. Right, I'm gonna do this. Let's clear. Oh, and then I can still revive. Yeah. I think I'm doing that. Oh, so you don't have to walk into a space to clear it. And you don't have to walk into a space to revive a person. These are all amazing pieces of information that I did not have yet, despite my, at this time, play counter saying 11 hours. So let's revive her. So, there you go, Ix. Hate to disappoint, but we're back online. So as much as I'd like to use SD for something, there's nothing good, again, I think, that I can actually use SD for. Except for getting the gas off the car and using it to fill the car. Right? Because again, I think the goal here is, well, now I'm starting to think we can also move this barrier over here and then clear the path. How about I just sit in the car and put the tunes on? Speaking of tunes, I don't know if anyone was tuned in before this started, but Boards of Canada released XYZ on Warped Records today. That's what was playing. If you haven't checked that out yet, I highly recommend it. So yeah, SD also used up all your actions. So I don't know it. Forget what the dog can do. So let's move the dog over here just to see if there's any interactions with the stuff. Uh-oh. Okay. That was the flying car. So, what do we have again? We don't have a weapon. We don't have a weapon. So all we can do really is shove. But that's not that great. Right? Oh, man, I really wish we had a weapon. Maybe, just maybe, this brute will get killed by this tripod, by this tri-fork thing. Maybe. I mean, if this wasn't here right now, we'd get the hell out of here. Right? It's so annoying. Because I don't think we can drive out around here, right? That's not going to work. And we also can't drive out around here. SC9, does shoving break down shield? Or is it just an AP? Oh, it doesn't. It does not, right? So, I want this berry to be here so that this dude up here can't get through. Man, I wish this rock wasn't here. Damn you, Adam Saltzman. Anyone have any bright ideas? Because right now my only thought is to like push this guy and then walk into the space. But then so unfortunately this only has one more charge. So if I walk into the space, I'm going to take a damage from it, and then I won't have the shield to shove it. And even if I shove it, I don't think I'm going to get through there. I kind of feel like if we're not able to kill this, we won't be able to get out of here. Right? But all I can do is shove it, and our other character isn't carrying anything, and there's nothing in the car. Okay, here's a crazy thought. Let's see if this works. I am going to put... Oh no, don't drop it. I'm going to put this on the car, and then Esty is going to get it. This is going to work, I can't believe it. Is going to get it off the car. None of this is costing action points, just for the record. And then, wow, I love this. And then I'm going to get this, and now instead of shoving the brute, I'm going to hit it twice and kill it. Because the other enemies down here are things we can actually avoid. So I'm going to just... so here's a cool thing that happened. I did not know this. When this Triprong attacked the brute in the last turn, it already took... Yeah, SC, you're good for a lot. This like little action pointless relay race. So this thing already took a hit. So these characters, these enemies or aliens or whatever the hell they are, they don't like each other either. Or at least they have different goals. So now we just hit it once and kill it. The only bad news here is we have to still get it out of the way. So it's still going to have to... Man, now it's turning into freaking Sudoku. I kind of feel like the only way to do this is to move all this stuff over and to kill this guy when he comes in. Let's see what Fritzy can do here. Because I think... Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. So, Esty can go here. Let's hope Esty can pull this thing next turn. I mean, I guess we could... Well, if we push this, then we're inviting in the enemies, right? So I think we move here, pull it, hope that Kimlin can pull this. Esty says, what's it cost to break barricade? 2 hits? Yeah. Cost 2 hits. And unfortunately, the only weapon we have right now is a stick that only has 1 charge left, and Fritzy can't attack barriers. I think Fritzy can shove barriers, or maybe drag barriers. But let's do this. Let's move Esty here to be able to drag the barrier next turn. Let's move Kimlin here so she can move into the slot. This is not going to work. This is still going to take 2 turns and we're going to lose the item, but like I think this is literally all we can do. Oh, wait, Fritzy still has an action. Not really that valuable, I think. I think Fritzy just stays there. Ah, damn it. I forgot about that. Okay, that's not cool. Oh, dude, my dude, you're doing our work for us. I do not mind that at all. So, oh, the dog. How'd the dog just die? How did I miss that? Yeah, it's happening. So, it turned... Oh my god, I keep on accidentally misclicking this. Thank god, these are undoable. The thing that I didn't know is that this creature actually cleared that stuff for us. So, oh my god. This is a nightmare. Okay, so now she's not recoverable. Turns out the dog looks irrecoverable too. I didn't even see if there was anything next to the dog. Well, that's disappointing. Hey, guess what? Kimlin's gonna make it out alone, and we're gonna hope that we find more survivors. So this is the first time we're losing people, because there's no way that we're getting these people back. Right, so yeah, that's it, right? That's all we can do, I think. We can go in here, turn on the car, get the hell out of here. That was close though, right? We almost made it out. These things were all very close. Yeah. Over the mountains. Hey, Biome 5. At the very least, we get to see pretty pictures, because now we drive out of the mountains and we see what the 5th biome is. with the desert. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, obviously. Okay, and I guess the 6 is the ocean or something. ST9 says, is running monsters over free? Not all monsters. The brutes are not free. Because the brutes you kill when you hit them, but you also can't just run over their cadaver. It still does a damage. And of course, now we're again in dire straits because we have to do something like find gas. I say we. There's one person left. It says, I'm fostering a 16-year-old who is in need of her permanent home. Nice. I'm going to say that's a cat reference. Maybe? I don't know. You tell me. Yeah, so again, this is not... There's no choices here, right? Like, we're like scraping barely by. A lot of people critique that about the game I've read online. I don't know if these are like actual game critics or something, but like... Yeah. Okay. So Kimlin, guess what the hell you're doing? You're on get the gas detail. So let's walk out of here. And that's the end of the turn because that's all we can do. I probably should not. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell was that? What is this cone in the sky? I don't know what that is. Okay. I hate that I'm so dense. Like, I should have left the stick close. I was so much more careful yesterday. SD89, it's not worth it to drive right up to the items before you get out to pick them up. Sometimes it is. I just felt just now it was only 2 spots away and I would use an action for any drive up mode. I could have driven the car right next to it. True. Also would have been a better move. Ix is like, if I ever have a brilliant idea, will have been camouflaged so well by the non-brilliant ones. It happens to all of us. So yeah, SD, you are 100% correct. If you say that sooner next time, I probably won't play this game as badly because it would have been much more efficient to drive the car right next to it, get out, pick it up, and I could have immediately filled it in. Now, not only am I going to have to drop this for this, but also I can only just walk next to it, right? I'm not going to... Oh, no, I can fill it up. Okay, that's not that bad. Okay, we have at least 3. So now what I'm probably going to do is I'm still going to try to get the stick back, depending on what this weird pyramid cone thing does. Maybe I'm not. Probably not. Doesn't look like it, right? Because going there and back means I get killed by one of these dudes. So no, instead what I have to do is get in, drop, like, lose yet another item, and then drive here, I'm gonna say, and then get out, fill it up, and get the hell out. Yeah, that's basically all I can do, right? Drive over that thing, drive here, turn off the car, not that that matters, and that's the end of the turn, right? Yeah, I wonder what... Oh. So that's just a timed attack. Like, it looks like it charges up electricity. I think kind of looks kind of cool, though, right? Looks like it charges up electricity, and then on the next turn just, like, zaps the 4 adjacent spaces. Okay, so Killing gets out. Pick that up. Of course, it's only 1. Ooh, if I fill... Does this thing actually attack me? I don't think it does, but, like, it's not like I have a choice. Like, I need to get that gas in here and then end the turn. Hope that that thing doesn't actually attack. Whoa, not only does it... Uh-oh. So it explodes right next to me. That's super cool because now I'm probably dead. Well, I'm not dead yet. I go into the car. That uses up my entire action. Wait, end turn. I can't end turn. Turn on. End turn. Okay, so at least that only took off the side armor. Get the hell out. Don't explode. Get out. Escape. Okay. Okay, we got 2 more gas. And it's just us, and we also still need a health pack. Still alive, that's something. So long, ST89. I'll miss you. Sorry. Gonna miss you, Fritzy G. Man, I would have loved to see Houdini again. We? What are you talking about? There's no we here. Kimlin, it's only you. Well, I guess it's us. Check the map. So it looks like we have options. Well, this is not really a decision, right? I don't know how many people are even following, but I don't see us even having a choice here, right? Because we definitely need the gas. There are people over here. If we can make it there, that would be cool. But man, I would have loved to see something that says health pack. A health pack would have been highly valuable, or people, right? Also, man, Kimlin has one healthcare, like one action point. How are we supposed to? Well, I guess there's more gas. What is happening? Nick kind of hinted at the fact that there are like people underway who shoot flare guns. That is not Ix. Not Ix says it's a friend. That is for sure not a friend. Right. So we pick up. Man, it is slim pickings here. So this person's gonna siphon gas. I don't even see how we can compete with that. Right. We probably just need to fill up the car and get out of here. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to see if our buddy over there just gets killed. Wait, are you gonna fill up our tank, or are you gonna? I don't know. Let's fill it up. It's also my only action I can do. Nope. Not gonna fill up our tank. Don't hurt the car. Get in the car and start the car. And oh wait, no. Oh, we're dead. We're dead. That's how I die. I can't believe it. That's it, guys and girls and everyone else. That's it, because here's now the car's on fire. Even if I walk, well, my last chance is to walk out diagonally and hope that the diagonal stuff doesn't hit me, but I don't think that's the case because the car's gonna blow. I think it happens next turn. It does not hit me. Well, okay. The tragic end of the Fellowship, right? That's how this game ends. This is what I thought was going to happen way sooner. So again, to reiterate, I was convinced that we would have this happen to us 3 times yesterday, or like 2 times in a 2-hour stream. Not that we'd be streaming a total of almost 5 hours and get like almost all the way across the country. So I think I have a lot of thoughts about this, right? Like let me switch over to like you guys seeing my dumb face a little bit bigger. So I have a lot of thoughts about this because on the show we talk about the length of a good roguelike a lot, and this is like clearly falls into the roguelike camp. That said, it does have a lot of similarities to XCOM, which is not a roguelike, unless you play it in Iron Man mode, which turns it into a roguelike with permadeath. Ixnot says, GG, what a run. Fully agreed. That was super fun. I don't know what I would do next when I play this game. Like, I might do the Spelunky thing and like start from a biome just to like get to know it better and see if it's actually as punishing as starting Spelunky from the tunnel builder, which is terrible, right? Like once you get at Spelunky, it's just like I can't do this. Like I'm not gonna be decked out enough. I don't know if this game has the same things because it has such fewer slots and you find a lot of stuff along the way. So it's a lot more generous, I think, in the stuff and a lot less generous in how much of it you can carry. Again, although, yeah, Spelunky can carry a lot, right? Except for certain items. Also, we talked a lot, right? This is us thinking through every single move. So I think if I was just playing it and not, like on my own, I would be playing it faster, but also probably dying faster. It says, why is there no hell shortcut, though? Hey, who says there's not? We have no idea what's happening over here, right? Like some people yesterday, even, I don't know if it was UX or someone else, was just saying like, hey, what if it has like shortcuts? Because the map's pretty big. There may be like branches that go off into La La Land or like loop back around. I would not be shocked at all if that were the case and we just didn't see them yet. And you unlock them through some weird stuff. and then that becomes sort of kind of the roguelite meta structure. I could see that happening. Ick says, yeah, you spend a first hour explaining the basics for scene purposes. Yeah, so that Nick always when Nick's around, I do less of that because he forces me into the game faster. I'm a theory crafter. I can't help myself. You're going to get much more about like, ooh, I wonder what the design intent was. So yeah, and Rapatic also says, although even the shortest runs seem quite sizable relative to their other roguelikes. I'm not sure, right? Because my first 6 hours, I never got further than halfway through the second biome, which I think is the woodlands. And so each of the runs, and then, I'm not talking to anyone, so each of the runs was maybe like 15, 20 minutes, felt like. I definitely recommend that people try it. I mean, obviously I like the game, right? Like, I think at this point, and I'll be perfectly honest, right? Like, and I'm going to be honest to Adam too. Like, when I first started up the game, I had certain skepticisms about this unholy marriage of like all these different genres, and whether that was even possible to do in an elegant way. And my first 2 plays were also like, I'm not sure if I'm getting it, and so it was one of those things where I could have easily bounced off of it pretty fast, and I didn't, right? And it wasn't only because of the show; it was just like I wanted to try a couple of things, and then it really, really got itself in, we always talk about like how a game like gets its claws into you, and then you're just like you step away from it, and you're like, okay, I should eat. And you hang out, you do some other stuff, and you live, and you can't stop thinking about it, right? It's also the feature of like a lot of my favorite board games, like Twilight Imperium, like this massive 8 to 12 hour epic tabletop game that Greg Bornstein and I briefly talked about on the show. So yeah, it really got me to the point where I was walking around here in LA, and I was constantly like jonesing to like get back to it because I had like a new idea of what I was maybe doing wrong. It says I enjoyed the back and forth at the start with Nick wanting to get in the game ASAP. I'm the same way unless I'm the person with the directions, then I am more of the Andy/theory crafter. I like to believe that I can like change hats. I also have said this on the show before, right? Like one of my superpowers is that I can play a game without constantly worrying about the design of the game. And I don't have to like, oh, I wonder what they did here. Because what happens to a lot of my game design colleagues is they fall into this thing where they start prioritizing their time over their entertainment. So they'll play the game for like a half an hour, and they're like, I love this game, but I get it. And then they move on. And I always feel, sure, if they're playing a single player game, that's wonderful, but I'll have people do that to me on like a 4-hour tabletop game and want to quit after 30 minutes, and that's not, I'm not, I don't think that's cool. Like, I want to get the full experience. I want to see what hour 3 feels like, right? Because you can't tell me that you can start Twilight Imperium and then after a half an hour you get it, which is maybe true, but you're definitely not going to have the experience. So I might need to rethink it, right? Zach usually uses terms like an hour and a half to 2 hours for a good roguelike run to beat it. And I usually use something like, I only have 30 minutes. And where does 30 minutes come from? Well, it obviously comes from Spelunky, right? It obviously comes from the fact that I love Spelunky and that I think 30 minutes is optimal. And Ix, before you say anything, I get it. 30 minutes is not great. But I'm like very methodical, right? Because otherwise I just die, right? I just get torn apart, as you witnessed earlier today, as I stepped in front of a tiki trap in hell. Always a great place to step in front of a tiki trap. So yeah, I think this game is fabulous. And without sounding too much like a corporate shill, because I'm not funded by anyone other than the University of Southern California's School of Cinematic Arts, who is my employer. It's on Apple Arcade. I don't know if iPad iOS is the best place to play it, because I've at this point only played it on actually I played it for 5 minutes on my phone, but small, right? I'm playing it right now on PC. PC seems pretty optimal. I think it's $25 on Steam. I think some people might think that's a lot, but I think this game is a labor of love, and it took a bunch of people a really long time to make, look, and feel and play the way it does. So I think that's totally a fine asking price. Um, if you had asked me this 8 years ago, I probably would have said that's not true, but that was also a different era. Um, I think in the meantime, a lot of people have been undervaluing their work, so I think it's only fine that people do that again. And again, also, it's on Apple Arcade for $4.99 a month. First month is free. You just sign up and sign out again. I'm sure a lot of people are doing that anyway. And you can check it out, right? So I highly recommend it. I don't think I have a whole lot more to say as of now. I would say check it out. I would definitely say in closing, before I sign off, I'd say go to overland.com and check it out and see if it's for you. Watch some videos. If you want to know more about the design of the game from actually the first-hand information and not my guessing, you could tune into the show. It'll probably be online Friday. We're recording it Thursday evening, and I'm pretty sure we'll put it up Friday. Nick is a master of editing. Like, he just does that. He edits it right away. I try to model it after him. I try to get the videos and the VODs up immediately after the show. Not that that's as hard as his editing. I just have to chop out away the front and the back. Ix says this is going to be a great show. Yeah, I think it is too, but mostly it's going to be a great show because Adam's super smart. He is that guy has given design, like, he was super smart when I met him in 2010. But he's like only grown as a designer since then, which this game is like the epitome. Like, this is like the proof in the pudding to me how much he has grown as a designer, right? From making something like a 1 week prototype like Cannibal, which I thought was already like a genius design stroke in like minimalist game design, to something like this that still has a lot of the minimalist features, but is clearly a bigger game, right? And a much, much harder game to design, right? Because of all the interacting systems. SD89, I'm excited for the podcast. Yep, so are we. Like, tune in, spread the word. Ix says this makes me want to know about the older projects too. Sure, I'm sure they'll come up, right? I'm pretty sure we'll talk about where he came from through Cannibal and a lot of other minimal projects they did back then when Flixel was still a thing, right? This is maybe people don't know this. Adam's also the author of Flixel, which used to be a really cool like action script thing, right? Where you can make flash games. Not a thing anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, he's had a lot of other games around that, and of course he's a publisher now with Finji. So we'll see. We'll probably talk a lot about a lot of stuff. Ix says, I've been terrible at learning individual developers until this podcast started, unless they put their name on their game like Sid Meier did. Ix, have you ever seen, it's very new, it was from GDC this year actually, and it's online on the Vault and also on YouTube. Zach and Bennett gave a talk that is literally called Put Your Name on Your Game, a talk by Zach Gage and Bennett Foddy, right? Because, Ix says LOL. Yeah, it's because, there's like Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, so he puts his name on his game, and if you've ever played Getting Over It, which is another game we should really play in the show and talk to Bennett about, he whispers in your ear, right? He talks to you. He actually, like, and a lot of people say, oh, Bennett Foddy, that's so pretentious, hubris. No, it's amazing, right? Again, we're friends, so take it with a grain of salt. Everything sounds different when you talk to the developers directly, right? And yeah, Zach always says, like, his newest game, which we will probably also talk about in a future show, is Card of Darkness. They made together with Pendleton Ward, who's the creator of Adventure Time, and Choice Provisions, who formerly known as Gaijin Games, made the Bit Trip series, right? So they made a game together called Card of Darkness that I think currently is exclusive to Apple Arcade. It's really good. I played a prototype 5 years ago. They've done it a lot with the game. And the game just says a game by Zach Gage, Penn Ward, and Choice Provisions. So it's not like a logo of a company or something. So developers are getting a little bit better with that, especially indies, right? Because it's a little bit weirder for larger companies, because clearly Sid Meier didn't make that game alone. Maybe he made the first game alone, but even that's probably not true. And then it feels more like branding. And I remember years ago when I was writing papers on digital shape modeling, and I wanted to reference Spore, and I thought I'd reference it with Will Wright, and then I talked to a bunch of people on the dev team, and they were just like, no, that's Will doesn't actually want that, and it's also weird because it's not just him. So I learned from companies that they prefer the game just to stand alone, right? And then the reference in the paper became Spore and then Maxis, right? And not the name. So I think it's complicated. When it's smaller developers, it's easy, right? It's easy to just list the people if you want to do that. Again, we didn't do it. We were Hemisphere, or our Hemisphere Games, right? And that was just what Osmos was labeled with, because I definitely didn't think we should put our name on it back then, but no one knows. It's complicated. These days, I'd say it's cooler to identify as an artist, especially when you're a small team, and then you should just make sure that people have heard of you. A lot of theory about this in terms like called auteur theory. If you want to look that up and learn about how that comes and goes in waves, right? Because that goes in and out of fashion like so many other things. And I'm giving a lecture, so I'm gonna stop now because this is actually perfect. I'm scheduled to play Teamfight Tactics with 3-4 friends in 10 minutes, and I'm gonna grab something to eat before that happens. So with that, thanks again, everyone, for watching. That's cool. Ix, thanks for the preview. You're very welcome. I'm glad we got through it, although it would have been cooler to still survive. But you know that in the moves that I made, that there's a possibility space where potentially we would have eked it out, obviously. But I just didn't have that. Yesterday, like, knocked the wind out of my sails. That was a lot, right? So because I wasn't expecting it to be that long. We'll do a lot more of these streams in the future. I keep on saying this, but it's true. We had a big strategy meeting last night, and we're not going to announce anything just yet because probably going to happen not before 2020. Sorry, but I think around 2020 we're going to ramp up the speed of everything because everyone's actually really super duper on board with this and likes where this is going. Rapatica says, have a good night. Looking forward to the show. Thanks a lot, Rapatica. We are looking forward to it as well. And with that, I will say cheers. Have a good one. And I will hopefully have you listen to us on the show. And I will see and talk to you again as we go into whatever the next game is. Could be Noita. Could be something else. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff coming out. We live in a very crazy time of game releases. Oh, no. Check this out. I can hover over the characters and it shows... Oh, do I want to look at this? This is going to break my heart. Good dog rode 1,000 miles, gone, didn't make it, left behind. Oh, God. Ugh. Did I need this right now? Traveled 1,864 miles. Oh my God. I'm going to pet you on the screen. I'm so sorry. The dog formerly known as Houdini, Fritzy TG. Kimlin. Gone, didn't make it. Starting party. They're all... Oh no, Fritzy wasn't starting party. Kimlin was starting party. Essie. Rode 1,000 miles. Came back from the dead. Whoa. Didn't make it. Abandoned by the group. You know what? It doesn't feel as bad there. It feels horrible with the shaggy dog. Oh well. We tried, and it was better than we could have expected. So anyway, with that, signing off. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Take care.